If you're a female and you've been trying to get your first pull-up and you've been super frustrated, then you're gonna need to watch this video. Today, I'm gonna take you through the 2 missing links that nobody is talking about on the internet that is gonna get you to your pull-up faster. And if you continue to not do these things, you're either not gonna get your pull-up or it's going to take a super long time. And we don't want that, right, Pepper? She doesn't want that for you. Check out these ladies here of all different ages and abilities finally conquering their pull-up because they're doing these things. Now, just so you know who I am, this information is coming from a 6-time American Ninja Warrior who has helped hundreds of women, both in person and online, conquer their pull-up. I made this approach for women by women. So first thing we're gonna do in this video is talk about why you don't have your pull-up, which is probably not what you might think. Then we're gonna talk about those 2 missing links that people on the internet are not talking about that are going to be game changers for you. Doing these things are gonna help you finally see results, but you're going to have an open mind. You're gonna have to start making some changes today because clearly whatever it is you're doing right now is not working. Am I right? But before we get started, I have a favor to ask of you. I make these videos specifically for women, not only to help them conquer their pull-up, but to help them become empowered, to help them to really change their life, to become the most confident version of themselves. So if this resonates with you, I'd love for you to hit the subscribe button right here, as I will continue to make videos just like this to help empower you and help you along your journey. Also, if after watching this video, you're like, wow, I would really just love to do a live class with her and really get coached by her, I am doing a free online pull-up workshop for beginners, specifically for women. You can click down below to sign up for this free workshop, and we will be there live going over so many other things and so many other drills to get you to your pull-up faster. Okay, so let's get into it. First reason why you do not have your pull-up right now is probably not what you might think, but it's because you're using the assisted band to help you get your pull-up. Now, I say this in all my videos, so I'm gonna say it right now. I'm not bashing the band. I'm not saying the band doesn't provide some support and is a good tool in the toolbox, but there are other drills, which we're gonna go over later, that are going to help you get to your pull-up faster. But let's explain why this assisted band is not helping you. And if you're watching this right now, you probably have tried assisted band pull-ups before, and then the second you get off the band, you feel like you're going nowhere. But on it, you're like, I'm cranking these out. I feel so good. I feel so strong. And it's like, what the hell? Like, why is this not working for me? And that's because the assisted band gives you support at the hardest part of the pull-up, which is the bottom. So if you watch this band as I pull it down, the more I stretch it, the faster it's gonna fling up. Check out that fling. And what's happening there is it's going to skip that first bottom piece of the pull-up, which is the most important part to strengthen. So you're actually only strengthening like the second half of the pull-up. And especially if you're trying to get your first pull-up, you need to emphasize really strengthening the bottom piece, okay? So the second half is great, but you're not gonna be able to get to that second half if you don't focus on the bottom. So let's just say right now and make a vow that okay, cool, the assisted band is a good tool, but this is not the way that it's gonna get you to your pull-up faster. Number 2, when you're working on your pull-up, you are thinking about getting your chin above the bar. Now, obviously, like that's where you wanna go, right? You wanna get your chin above the bar, but for anything else that you train in, you're not thinking in those terms. So let's, for example, put this in terms of running a marathon. If you're about to, sign up to run a marathon, are you gonna run the 26 miles on day 1? No, you're gonna take a step-by-step approach in order to get there. And that's exactly what we do in Pull-Up Revolution. So I want you to change your mindset when you're working on your pull-up to, I don't need to get my chin above the bar right now, but for figuring out what that step 1 is for you. And a lot of it is, again, getting the bottom piece of the pull-up to work and pull yourself up. Number 3, you've tried some of the other drills that you've seen on the internet, and they just are super hard, frustrating, right? It's one thing to say, jump up on the bar and just hold tension and, go down really slow on the bar. But when you're somebody who's trying to get your first pull up, you may not understand how to use those muscles in a way to make that happen. And then when you go to try it, you just kind of fall down on the bar, which makes it really frustrating to continue to show up for a skill when you're trying these drills, but you can't even do the drills, right? So if that has happened to you, don't worry. Like those are not the drills that you should be doing right now that are going to help you get there faster. We're going to go over those missing links in a second. And last but not least, while working on your pull-up, you might unintentionally self-sabotaging yourself. So that means maybe you're going up before you're getting started with your drills and you're like shaking your head no, or you're constantly saying to yourself, you know what, I'm just a little too heavy and a little too old to do this. Okay, maybe you get up there and you just start to do a bunch of random workouts and you become inconsistent because that. If you're not being consistent, a lot of times you are sabotaging yourself, because if you're doing a bunch of random things and you know that if you just go a step-by-step approach, which is the approaches I go through in Pull-Up Revolution, if you know that exists and you really want this pull-up to be a goal for you, what is it that you are holding yourself back from actually seeing success? And some people are actually scared to see success, right? Some people are actually scared of who they will become when they actually get their chin above the bar, right? So I want to eliminate all that fear right now, okay? And let you know that you are strong enough. You don't have to sabotage yourself anymore. This pull-up is a reality for you, and it's going to be a gateway. And it's going to open so many other areas in your life of confidence, of empowerment that you just truly don't even realize that you have in you right now. It's deep in there. But once you actually get this pull-up and you spend the time and you do these missing links, you're going to be like, wow, this is so much more than just conquering a pull-up, which is exactly why I teach pull-ups. So anyways, done with the rambling. Let's actually get to the missing links, because I'm sure that's what you're here for. So missing link number one that nobody is talking about is mobility. So some people don't really know the actual definition of mobility, and they get it confused with flexibility. So let's just review what these two things are and break them down a little bit. And I'm going to show you exactly why mobility is so important for your pull-up. So we're going to use overhead range of motion and overhead mobility as the example here, but there's obviously mobility in all other areas of your body, but we're just going to talk about the overhead range of motion, because when you do your pull-up, where are your arms? They're over your head, right? They're up here. Okay. So flexibility is I can get my arms to a spot over my head like this. So cool. We're flexible. We got there. Mobility is now I am here, but now I can function while I'm up here. So now I can do some stuff with my hands, right? Maybe that's pulling my arms back and then coming back up, but staying in that range of motion, right? And it's super important to know that you need to have that mobility in order to help you get that pull-up faster, because here's what's happened. We are sitting down on the desk all day, typing, we're texting all day. So we're constantly hunched over, right? Making our posture a little bit downwards, right? So when we actually go to use that overhead and mobility, sometimes we're like, where is it? Why don't I have it? It's because our body's just not used to doing it. It's not used to having our arms overhead and functioning in this area, because we are not doing that in our everyday life. Okay. So step one to getting your pull up, okay, and to getting there faster is to test out your overhead range of motion, which we'll do right now to check that mobility. And I'll show you a few drills that you can do in order to help that so you can get to your pull up faster. Now, just to preface, before we go and I show you this mobility test, if you cannot get your arms to a certain point, that does not mean you cannot get a pull up. It does not mean you can not start working on your pull-up today. That just gives us some more data and understanding of the different things that we can continue to work on to get there faster. Okay, so super important to note that, because I might have some people here on here are like, oh, well, my range is not good, so I'm just not even gonna start and I'm just gonna wait. It's like, no, we're not gonna wait, right? Because that's, again, another form of self-sabotage. That's procrastination. That's saying I'm going to get started when, or I'm gonna wait until when. No, you can literally start working on your pull-up today, no matter where you're at with your body. This is just another tool for us to analyze and see where you're at now so we can get you there faster. And if your overhead range of motion is good, that's great. Still a great area to continue to focus on. It's going to help you to really get your mind and body to connect. So let's go through this overhead drill to figure out exactly where our range is. And I'm just going to show you two moves today that you can start doing, literally implementing after this or while you're working out here, that will help you with that overhead range. Now we have hundreds of more drills in Pull-Up Revolution. I'm just going to show you a few today. And like I said, if you want to learn even more about this, hop into our free workshop that we are doing. If you're watching this video when it came out, we have one literally coming up this week. You can sign up down below and literally come and do this stuff live with me. We literally do a full class together, but I'm just showing you the pieces here so you can get started with something today. Okay, first things first, I can't do this test unless I have a wall, and I'm going to have to push this dresser over. So let's push the dresser and use our muscles. There we go. We got a wall. We got a wall now. So here's what you're going to do. You're going to go against the wall and you're going to find a wall. And it's important that we do this against the wall because if we don't, we'll like accidentally cheat, not on purpose. So you really want to be able to check and see where you're actually at with your overhead range of motion. So I'm going to stick this in here. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to make sure your back is literally glued to the wall. So you can have a slight bend in your knee. We're not like at a full wall sit. We just have like a slight bend here. We're going to take our back, inhale, exhale, and push our back against the wall. So there's no cave in our back that we have here right now, right? We're pushed against the wall. We're going to hold that there. While we hold that there, we're going to take our arms and we're going to lift them up and we're only going to go to the point where our back does not come off the wall, and we're going to hold it there. We're going to try and get our thumbs first to the wall. And then if that feels good and there's no cave coming out of your back, you're going to then try and put your backs of your hands to the wall and just hold there. See how it feels. And if you go like this, if there's a cave coming, that's not it, right? Maybe you can only keep your back against the wall when you get to here. That's okay. All right. That's us really understanding, wow, okay, if I just improve this overhead range of motion and work on this mobility aspect, I'm going to be able to get to my pull-up even faster. So again, not telling you can't get your pull-up, but telling you that this is going to help you get to your pull-up faster. So a great drill to do that I love doing with my clients is you literally stay here, right? You keep your back pushed against the wall. You put your thumbs against the wall. You then flip your your back of your hands to the wall, and you're going to try and stay there. Keep your back flat, and you're going to try and bring your elbows down, keeping your back flat against the wall, the core tight, and then sliding it back up. And just working on that here. It's wild how killer this is, even if you do have a good mobility, but this is going to help to wake up the right muscles that we need for our pull-up to help with our mind-body connection. And let's say like you can't get your hands all the way up here. Maybe you're only here right now. Just start where you can, and you'll slowly, as you start to do these every single week, get a little bit better and a little closer to the wall, which is going to, again, be a game changer for you getting your pull-up. It's also going to help your posture. It's going to help you stand a lot taller and more confidently. So great thing to do. Maybe do it between meetings. Do it in your Zoom meeting. Just like sit there and like crank the hands down. Okay. Another great move to do in order to help with the overhead range of motion is Y's, T's, L's, and W's. I say that all together because I kind of do them together. Now you can do these face down, laying on your belly, which is one of the ways I like them, but it's going to be hard for me to show you that right here. So we're just going to show it to you standing in a hinge position. So what you're going to do is you're going to hinge at the hips, which means you're going to literally take your hands, and I like to call this a karate chop. You're going to karate chop your hips, lean forward, bring your arms down by your side. Your thumbs are up. You're going to keep your head facing down. So your head's neutral. So you're facing here. You're not here. You're not too down. You're nice and neutral. Pretend like there's like a apple between your chin and your chest. Take your thumbs and you're going to lift them up in the Y position. So doing a few of these here, then opening up your nice and wide here, palms to the ceiling, T's. Then you'll do it in an L position. And then same thing, we're going to go into a W, which is you can do them here if you're doing them standing, and bring your elbows back. And again, going to that end range of motion and functioning in that movement. So if you're probably like, well, Angela, how many should I do? How do I do it? Whatever. That's exactly why I tell people to just hop in and get Pull-Up Revolution, because we tell you exactly all the drills to do, when to do them, how to do them. You don't need to think. You can literally just show up. But if you just want to get started with them today, I would do them against the wall for like 30 seconds. I like to do time, so you really take your time with them. You're not trying to rush through a certain number. And the Y, T's, L's, and W's, I like to do 10 of each of them. So 10 Y's, 10 T's, 10 L's, 10 W's. And you can just repeat that 3 times to get you feeling really good and get your overhead mobility feeling a little bit better. It is going to take time though. Okay. And I want to remind you, if you just do this today, if you just do one thing today to get you closer to your pull-up, that's great. But you have to be consistent with this stuff. You can't just expect that tomorrow the result is just going to be like, oh, it's perfect. I have a pull-up now. Everything's perfect. You have to consistently show up. And that's just exactly why we always have people come into the Pull-Up Revolution program, because we hold you accountable. We coach you. You help you continue to show up for yourself, because anything that you do, it's going to take time. It's not just going to be on day one where you see all the results, right? So like I said, first missing link is mobility. People are not talking about it on the internet too. You'll see people just doing the same drills over and over again on the internet. They'll be like eccentric, flexed arm hang, blah, blah, blah. These are all drills that are freaking intimidating and hard, but let's start here. Let's start with mobility. And the next one, which I really, really love, is called stability. So we are doing a move where we're doing our pull-up, which means we need to lift our entire body weight up on a bar, okay? So you better bet that we want to make sure that our shoulders and our body is feeling stable, okay? Because if you look at your shoulder right here, if you just look at it from the outside, you're like, wow, there's just not really much happening here. It's just like skin. There's a lot of shit going on inside of there, okay? So we want to make sure that our shoulders are stable, right? And feeling really comfortable. And this is going to help you stay injury-free while you're working on your pull-up as well. It's going to help you with your posture. It's going to help you with so many other areas of life. But we need to make sure that we are feeling stable before hopping on the bar. So with my Pull-Up Revolution program, we always start with mobility and stability. People love how it's broken down into mobility, stability, strength, and we're not just like hopping into a strength, jump on the bar, do this crazy shit. Because not only do you see results faster, but it also makes the workout much more attainable. You're like, okay, cool, I can do this. Like I can show up for these 3 different sections and make this happen. So stability, there's a couple of different moves that you can do with stability that we will go over here today. But again, really important here that when you're doing these, you're not rushing them. This is not about like doing more. More is not necessarily better. Better is better. So if you think that as I show you these moves that I'm going to go really, really fast with these and crazy, not the way to go. Like we don't want to go fast. We actually want to slow it down, take it really, really slow. And if you notice so far, the drills I've showed you, we aren't even on the bar yet. Isn't that wild? Not even on the bar. And we're working on all this stability piece here. So we're gonna actually hop down to the floor. I guess I'm gonna have to pull this camera down so you guys can see. So hold on. Oh, okay. So we're on the floor. And actually, we're gonna get rid of the microphone for this one. I personally just like the microphone because I feel like a rock star. I've always wanted to be a rock star. But I didn't have the rock star music touch, and I can't really sing that good. So I'm like, oh, be a fitness instructor and teach pull-ups. So we're gonna make it a rock show as we're here. Okay, so movement number 1 that's gonna help with your stability is going to be a shoulder tap. Here I'm like forgetting, I'm like thinking about me being on stage right now. I'm like rock star, shoulder tap. Okay, so we're gonna do the shoulder tap. So we're gonna do it really slow and in control. And we're gonna really think about how we are pushing our shoulders when we're doing it. We're also gonna do a scapular push-up. We're not really gonna do the full push-up. I'm just gonna show you exactly how that works to help you stability-wise, to teach you how to really move the scapular. So you're gonna go into your plank position. So when you're plank position, you've got your shoulder directly of the wrist, and you're gonna make sure everything is nice and flat. Oh, there's a nice bug on the floor here. Blow it away. Okay, so you're gonna get into your plank position. You can't see my whole body. This is why I'm like literally doing this in the corner of my room. How Pepper is here. So your feet, when you do your plank, you can either have them, I'm gonna show you here, you can either have them super close like this or super far. If you have them a little bit further, this is gonna increase the surface area of the floor, and this is going to allow you a little bit more stability. If you're close, it's gonna make it a little bit harder. So you can figure out what feels good for you. The idea here is to put your ego aside with these and make sure that you know that we're doing this to have control and stability and really take our time with it. We're also going to be practicing on something called anti-rotation. And an anti-rotation exercise basically means we're going to make sure that our body's not wiggling. And some people are like, well, why can't my body wiggle? This is going to help you have stability in other areas of your life. Picture yourself like walking on a really icy day and you start to slip on an ice. If you don't have good anti-rotation abilities like this, you'll just fall, right? If you do have good anti-rotation and you stop yourself from rotating and falling and you keep yourself stable, you won't fall. So it's gonna help you in other parts of life too. Anyways, right, Pepper, we're gonna get into your plank position. Again, put your feet where you feel best. Push into the floor. You're gonna grab onto the floor. So you're not just like placing them here, you're grabbing onto the floor, like you're driving, like you're turning the floor in. You're gonna turn the floor in, take your opposite hand to your opposite shoulder, push into the one into the ground, and then switch to the other side. And if you notice here, I'm really taking my time, going super slow. I'm keeping my hips as square as I possibly can. And if you also notice, we're pushing into the floor. Because when you're working on your pull-up, to keep yourself stable, to keep everything nice and even, you should be not only pulling, you should be pushing as well. It's exactly what we make sure you have in your Pull-Up Revolution program. We make sure in there that you're doing a combination of both, because if you're only doing one, right, you're gonna run into issues, stability issues, and we don't want that, right? So we give you just the right amount of pulling and pushing so that you feel really good. So that's movement number 1 that you can try for stability, just as simple. Shoulder tap. You can also do it onto your knees. You can also do it with your hands on a chair. So on an incline up here. Okay. I like to remind people that I feel like a lot of people come in to Pull-Up Revolution and sometimes they're like 60s, 70s, yes, literally. And they're nervous. They're like, I don't know if I can do it on the floor yet. That's okay. Do it up here first and you can slowly work yourself down with doing it. So age is not a limiting factor for you getting your pull-up. Okay. You just gotta believe in yourself. And you gotta start somewhere. Shoulder taps. Next move for stability is those scapular push-ups. Now these are really hard. So what I like to show they're just hard to like understand where to go. So I like to show it from behind first. So what I want you to do is take your arms out in front of you. Pretend like I have my hand behind your back, like there's something right here. You just do it with one hand first. You're just gonna bring the arm back, keep the elbow completely straight, and then bring it forward. So you see how I'm kind of like really squishing my shoulder blades together? So you'll do that with both of your arms, pretending like you're squeezing something. This is gonna get that part of the back that we don't really use every day. It's gonna help us get our scapula to pull back so we understand how to actually do the pull up on the bar. This is the same motion. Once you feel good with it, you can take it and put it against the wall. And once you feel good with it there, you can drop it down to the floor. So lots of options here of where to do that and where to do that scapular push up. So like I said, all these factors are super important, and what most programs are missing is this mobility and stability piece for conquering your pull-up. They are just hopping right into these strength drills to getting your pull-up. They're just telling you to go on the pull-up band and take off the band until it gets lighter and lighter and lighter. And that just doesn't work, and it doesn't work as quick as making sure you're just doing 3 factors in your workout every single time you're approaching this pull-up: mobility, stability, and strength. And since we're here, I have a little bit of a bonus one for you. And like I said, making sure that you're focusing on the bottom of the pull-up is gonna be really key in you finally making that pull-up a reality for you, because that's the spot where people get stuck. Okay, so I'm gonna show you a drill to help you at the bottom of your pull-up that you can literally do today. You just gotta grab your pull-up bar and hop on it. This is the only drill that I'm showing you. Notice this is the only drill that I'm showing you on the bar. And before you're like, wait, Angela, I feel like I need to be on the bar more. Can you show me more bar drills? All those bar drills are in Pull-Up Revolution. You can grab them. And like I said, we're gonna go over 10 of them in the live workshop if you wanna join into them. But this is the stuff that you're missing. You're missing the 2 things I just showed you. You've clearly probably been up on the bar a little bit before, right? But these other drills beforehand, the mobility and stability, those are the missing links that are holding you back from not finally getting your pull up. You have to be willing to do something different to finally get to your goal faster, right? Because like I said, whatever it is that we're doing right now, it is not working. And I don't want you to be stuck there anymore. All these ladies trusted this process, and check them out. Crushing through, feeling healthy, feeling more confident in their body. You can have that too. So just for a little bonus, because I'm feeling so generous today, I'm gonna show you an active hang on the bar. And we did the scapular push-ups, right, on the floor here. So now we're gonna basically do that, but instead of horizontal, we're gonna be doing that vertically on the bar. You're gonna hang from the bar. You can cross your feet behind you, squeeze your glutes. You're gonna inhale, exhale, lift up, and you're going to really make sure that you're squeezing that scapular and bringing the elbows down just like you were when you were doing that scapular push-up. But you're gonna do it here. And you're just gonna do these and just hold at the top. This is called an active hang. And then you're gonna relax. And you're just gonna do a bunch of those. You're gonna hold it for like 3 seconds, 4 seconds, 5 seconds. Each day getting a little bit stronger at the bottom of your pull-up, because again, that's the part when you hop in this band that it's flinging you up. I'll show you the fling. Check out this fling. You're skipping the whole bottom piece. It's gonna be super hard when you get rid of this band. We don't want that anymore. Anyways, I hope this video was helpful for you. I hope to see you in the live workshop. Remember, click down below. This is a beginner pull-up workshop. We are actually gonna be doing a workout in there together. I'll be able to see you in real time, and I'll continue to put these tips out there for you. I am doing this for women because I know that this pull-up is going to be the first step in you becoming the most confident version of yourself, by taking a chance on yourself, by doing something that's hard, that you feel like is maybe impossible, by showing up for yourself every single day, and then finally, step by step, making this a reality. It's going to open up so much more for you. And that's why I'm so passionate about it. I want you to feel like that most confident version of yourself, because I know it's in there. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed. Can't wait to see you in the free pull-up workshop, and I'll see you all later.